Welcome to Unscripted Gaming. My name is Josh.
My name is Mike.
My name is Ray.
What's going on, everybody? How we doing?
We're doing all right. Got some nice weather.
Yeah.
It's not, Arctic. It's
Completely normal for
balmy
this time of year, too.
very a very nice 60-degree day in February. It's
60 degrees can happen in February. It's not that bad.
it doesn't mean I can't enjoy it. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I'm saying Josh was alluding that it wasn't normal.
Had brunch outside with the baby
my.
Metroid this morning. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
So
sounds great.
having a lovely day. So we thought it'd be a really good idea to come inside and then talk about video games and such.
It's not.
No, it's always a great day to do that.
Mm-hmm. What games you been playing, Josh?
Me, I have been playing a bit of Hitman, murdering stuff here and there. Still great, still fun. I'm okay at it, because sometimes I think I'm better at Hitman than I am, and I overextend, and then I get murdered.
And you pay the price.
Have you gone Sheik Zanzibar on someone yet?
I have not done the full Sheik Zanzibar yet. I hope to. I really want to, but I often yell the mantra "Fortune favors the bold," and it almost always never does. So there's that.
That does not sound like the proper mantra of an assassin.
Sure.
Just throwing that out there.
No.
The important thing is just to have multiple crowbars, because then you can whack somebody, and then throw multiple crowbars to drop all the witnesses in the room as fast as possible.
Yeah.
The more crowbars you have, the better you're all.
I there was one situation I was proud of myself. Proud's not the word. Got myself in a bit of a sticky situation, and I entered a combat scenario, and then I didn't have combat anymore because I murdered every single arm wielding person in the area. So,
Oh my.
there's nobody to tell the tale.
That sounds like the equivalent of, when you get spotted in a Metal Gear game, and you just stealth, and then you just kill everyone that comes into the room, and then Solid Snake is standing over those piles of bodies, and you're just like, yep.
There's nobody to sound the alarm if
spy.
nobody's alive.
Right.
Bingo.
So that's been taking up a bit of my time, and then also been playing a bit of Fire Emblem Heroes.
I've
Yeah,
been playing a bit of it,
that.
but I've been playing a little bit of it as well. What do you think about it, guys? What do you think?
I want to hear Josh's thoughts first, since he's never played a Fire Emblem.
So yeah,
that's
I've never played a Fire Emblem game. I think one time I might have downloaded one on an emulator and played like a minute of it and not really come back to it. So I've been playing the Fire Emblem Heroes, and I like it, but I have some issues with it. Question: is it common in a Fire Emblem game for enemies to basically commit suicide by attacking people nearby that are not the person they should be attacking? Because I feel like that happens in almost every battle where, an enemy will step up on one of my dudes and be like, I'm gonna fucking fight you. And you're like, dude, if you look at the triangle, you're not even, close to the right guy. And if you look at the numbers, you're gonna die, and you're gonna do 1 damage to my guy. So
some of that, I think, is the difficulty that you might be on.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I think.
Well, you can't. I don't think you can change the difficulty on Heroes, though.
I think. There's a couple different there are some missions you can do that are hey, this is for level 5. This is for level 15. There's that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've kind of noticed it's not exactly. It's certainly not the most challenging Fire Emblem gameplay there is. Not that I need it to be.
It's a
but
fun game,
I've noticed that too, where it's just oh, you, my sweet summer child. Not even the triangle will save you now.
When I assume that in a proper Fire Emblem game, you will have things like characters that miss, or you'll have percentage chances, or that when it says like you're expected to do this much damage, like it may not actually do that much, or you might crit or something. Like it gets a little more complex in the actual game. I love the way that the game looks. Like I love the art style, and I think it's a very pretty game. And I haven't felt that the free-to-play trappings have been too egregious, or I haven't felt like I've needed to spend money on it, at least where I'm at right now. But the biggest thing really is that because I don't have the background in Fire Emblem, like some of the like what I would imagine is more fan servicey stuff with like all the heroes and interacting in a different way doesn't really have an effect on me. It really just makes me want to play an actual Fire Emblem game. Which is,
if that's the intent, I mean, don't know. But
I was gonna say it probably is partially the intent, and I would imagine that we could discuss this a little bit. I think most of Nintendo's not Fire, but mobile game stuff is really to support their other games to make you want to give them a little money and then go buy the proper game at some point.
Or their games are so poorly delivered to a non-fan of the game, they're like, man, I wonder if the actual game is good. You know, I'm going the other way around that.
Well, it hasn't made me think like, man, I need to get a 3DS so that I can play the newest Fire Emblem. But I'm like, I've got a Game Boy Advance emulator. Maybe I could maybe I could re-download that one ROM that I started and actually give it a shot.
If you are just getting to the Fire Emblem series, the one I would recommend is Awakening, because Awakening has what's called casual mode, which in my opinion is the only way I ever play Fire Emblem anymore.
Yeah, it's I think definitely that was because I just finished up Birthright. I enjoyed it. I think I liked Awakening just a little bit more, but I mean, Awakening did introduce casual mode, and basically, if you didn't know, Josh, like casual mode. Because in Fire Emblem, like for the Game Boy and stuff, if a character died,
you have. I mean, I knew there's permadeath in.
Yeah, it was
Fire
permadeath,
Emblem, which is not in Fire Emblem Heroes at all.
Yeah, because like if someone dies, then you just would lose them forever. And casual, if they die, I mean they'll be gone for the map, but they won't be dead forever.
They won't be permadeath.
And it's like it just saves you so. I mean, for me, it's like it just saves me so much time because sometimes it's just like I just make one stupid mistake and then. One of my favorite characters dies, and then you have to start like a 2-hour level over again. It's just like,
Oh, it's so
casual.
Horrible when you.
So casual just made it so much more like a. I don't know. It added a lot. It made it a lot less of a chore when that like, because when that happens, you just never want to play Fire Emblem ever again.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna eat this cartridge.
I think I really would.
Never have to play it again.
I really liked playing Final Fantasy Tactics way back when, I have a feeling that Fire Emblem could very easily scratch that itch. So it's very similar in mechanics and the way that game works. So I might try and play a real Fire Emblem game. I don't know if I'm going to keep playing Heroes though. I don't open it every day, but every once in a while I'll be like, I should probably do a couple battles. Then
if you do get a 3DS, I highly recommend Awakening. It's really good because it lets you grind your heroes, and most Fire Emblem games before Awakening, most didn't let you grind. So if you had like a specific set of characters and you got into a battle and you're just getting your ass whipped by a boss who only goes down to a certain type of character class, and you never grinded or even got that character because you might have missed them, you're just fucked. Start the game over again.
Yeah, I think
and that's happened to me a lot.
There's one on the Game Boy Advance that like had some kind of like, I guess more free roam type grinding abilities.
Maybe Sacred Stone?
Yeah, I think Sacred Stone had some.
Yeah.
Because you could like.
The first one did not.
No, it didn't. But yeah, it's a series I've really enjoyed. I mean, I don't know what it is because I'll go for the longest time not really like playing Fire Emblem, but then I'll just play one and it's just like, I just like it just draws me in so fast. Like, you can really like once you start seeing like the numbers go up, I'm like, oh, oh, this person can just mess some stuff up now. Oh, it's pretty great. It's pretty
I want
cool.
to talk about
Plus anime, plus shipping,
plus
Eugenics.
plus. Yeah. Oh man, that's the.
Hey, the eugenics is fun.
Every time I'm like, I'm thinking about people's skills. Like, well, these skills would, if these skills were in the same person, that'd be pretty sweet. And then I'm like, man, I just feel dirty. I just,
I love it. I love like, hey, you two get together, make a baby, so that, and I'm talking about awakening, so that when we go to the future, that child is going to be strong with this skill and this skill. And you're always deciding, like, I don't know, should I get this person with Olivia? Should Crom date Olivia so they can have the dancer baby, Lucia? I don't know.
I mean, it's like, is this kind of an opposites attract thing? Oh, I found this the other day. So I just wanted to mention, with all free-to-play games, I'm with Josh. I haven't really had any, even though I didn't get some of my favorite characters, I have zero compulsion to spend any money. But someone on the Fire Emblem subreddit spent nearly $500 trying to get Hector and failed.
Roy is behind a paywall. It's just like we feared.
Just
be safe, folks.
We need to let that sink in again. $500 just to try and get one character out of the random dice roll that is the hero orb trading market fucking thing.
I actually
don't wanna
hate how that system works.
Yeah, I don't want to take anything. I mean, if he's got the ability to spend that,
if you got that kind of
free
cash to burn,
country,
fucking go for it.
Go for it. But I also have the right to say, what the hell are you doing? Oh my God! Why would you do that?
Even if you have that,
why
money,
would you do that?
There are so many better things you could spend $500 on.
Yeah.
Don't you spend money on Tap Tycoon? Are you really the one
to
kind of fan the flames?
First off, I'm
He's like
reformed.
a month clean, man.
I haven't played Tap Tycoon in months now, so
really? Wow. Okay,
that's one thing.
Right.
And I came really close to picking up Tap Titan 2. I haven't done it yet. I'm trying not to. We'll
it
see
has
what
clans
happens.
now.
But when I would spend money in Tap Tycoons, I would be buying a specific thing. I wasn't like, ooh, give me this random dice roll. I would go and spend money for a specific thing that I knew would better my business in some way, shape, or form. So there's a difference there. I also didn't spend $500.
Okay, two things.
I only spent like 20.
Just buy like 20 I don't know, like 100 Game Boy Advances and copies of Fire Emblem 1, and then just play through, level up Hector. Oh, Hector's so great, and then just throw it away and do it again. Like, just do that. You'll get more Hector.
Wait, here's the thing too. He could have just uninstalled the game, reinstalled it, and then gone through that whole rigmarole, and then kept trying to re-roll rather than spending the money.
That both of those options are ridiculous. First of all, there's nothing you could say to me that will convince me spending money in the tapping game is a smart idea. Second of all,
Stan, you don't know how fast it made the numbers go up even higher, so it was worthwhile investment.
Second of all, the whole thing where you spend money, where you have the random chance to use this orb, which may or may not give you the hero that you want. Like, all the hero, I don't know about Mike, but all the heroes I want use a sword, which uses the red orb. And I'm, like, burdened with all these sword characters now because the game gives you a lot of orbs. I'm like, come on, Roy.
What?
Come on, Marth.
Did I tell you that I have a Roy?
Remember, Ray, though, if you're lucky enough to get the orbs that have the same
He's like
color,
4 stars,
you can
too.
spend a little bit less orbs to get the next character. So, best,
and then there's that thing
hashtag
where
best
Nintendo
value.
says, the more orbs you spend unlocking characters, the higher your chance of getting a character that you want. It kind of like says that in the game. I'm like, this is kind of fucked.
That's so good.
You know what?
And by good, I mean awful.
I will give Nintendo one credit here. One credit. At least they're kind of being upfront with their fuckery. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's random chance, but they're saying straight up, hey, if you do this, you might have a better chance. So fucking shell up, dummy.
Oh, and the orbs are expensive. Like, I looked at their monetization scheme, and it's like 3 orbs are needed to unlock 1 character. You can buy 3 orbs, but each pack of 3 orbs is $2. That's fucking nuts.
Hey, it's less than $1 an orb.
Stop.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
You know what though? I am kind of impressed with Nintendo's like A/B test they have going out right now. You know, they have Mario Run out there for $10 straight up, and then they have Fire Emblem Heroes out with the free to play, your typical free to play trapping, so they can kind of be like, okay, let's see who brings in more money.
Let's have a money race.
Fire Emblem Heroes compared to Mario, whatever you call it, Mario Run, is a superior game because I'm actually enjoying this game, whereas with Mario Run, I didn't pay the $10 for it because you could not convince me that game was worth $10. But Fire Emblem Heroes for free, this is an enjoyable Fire Emblem experience. I'm having fun with it. Oh, and there is one thing about the control scheme that kind of like irks me, and it's a small thing. Normally in Fire Emblem, when you make a character move, you have the option to like, do you want to finalize the move yet? Yes or no? And I'm like, let me see if I move here. Maybe I can move this here. It's like a match of chess that you're kind of doing piecemeal.
Oh yeah,
but,
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. On Fire Emblem Heroes, once you move the character to that screen and you lift your thumb or finger, you are committed. Fuck you. That was your move.
Hey, it's just like when you play Pokemon cards. You put the card down and you're like, nope, I'm still thinking. The second you take that finger off, fuck you. You made that move. So it's
see, what I'm used to is when I move next to a hero, I confirm that yes, I want to make this action and attack. In this game, you have to hover your character over the hero, and to me, after playing Gears of Fire Emblem, that feels wrong.
It does feel weird. I've had a lot of times where I've like rested a hero right in front of one of the bad guys and be like,
yeah.
Like, oh no.
My bigger problem is not the fact that you can't select your, you can't move, but sometimes I feel like I've made the motion to make an attack, but then the game doesn't think that I did, so I move in front of a guy and then I just sit there and I'm like, shit.
Right, you're just
I
out
do
there,
that all the time.
Fly open, dick hanging out. You're like, all right, listen. I know I was gonna hit you really hard with this axe. Let's talk about this.
Axe,
just like,
dude, come on.
It's
just
like
look at
calm,
the triangle.
calm down. Time out.
Time out.
Whoa! We gotta clear the field. We gotta get some medics in here.
Have you guys looked around in the game's other like little systems it has? There's like feathers, there's crystals, there's
Not
stones.
really.
I've collected some of the stuff from like doing training mode, but I haven't actually like looked into what it does or why I would care about it. So
crap. I was hoping someone would tell me why the fuck I should care about feathers, because I have like 10,000 of them and I don't know what I'm doing with them. It's a weird game. All right, it's fun though. I'm enjoying it.
yeah, I don't know how much. Like I'm not really regular with it, but every once in a while just picking it up and playing a couple matches. That seems fine. I'll probably keep doing that for a little while, but
Yeah,
I think I'm more likely to download a Game Boy Advance copy and play some proper Fire Emblem.
I mean, the Game Boy Advance Fire Emblem is kind of fun, but it's rough when you start going into it. At the halfway mark, this is where men become boys. I mean, boys become men. At the halfway mark, once you realize, all right, I should have been leveling up this character.
Yeah, I honestly would recommend Sacred Stones. It's if you're gonna play an emulator, that's a really good Fire Emblem game. I really
can't
like
recommend
that one.
Awakening enough.
Awakening and I haven't done some of the other there's probably a little bit more stuff, but I enjoyed Birthright, but I think I liked Awakening just a bit more.
Yeah, I need to keep going through Birthright. I actually got if I can go through games I'm playing beyond Fire Emblem Heroes.
Do it.
Playing more ranked in Hearthstone.
Oh,
Hearthstone's great. I'm not very high ranked. I'm just enjoying the experience. I'm ranked 23, 22. I beat Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Finally. No. I take it back. I didn't just beat that game. I completed it because there was a certain point where I'm like, this game is getting really long in the tooth because when the castle turns upside down, you're just going through the exact same castle, except it's upside down. And the level design does not complement the fact that now you're going through upside down. Like jumps that you can make with the double jump item, you now have to turn into a bat, and that just takes away so much like free flow ability out of the game. There's no like screw attack or space jump or anything like that. But as opposed to just going through the game, beating it, and being done with it, I went ahead, sat down, and I completed the game. I did every single thing you could do in that game, explored every single inch of the castle, got the 200% map completion rating, just so I can say I might never go back to that game ever again.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job.
No, it's fun. I liked it. I liked it a lot by the end of it. And I have Bayonetta 2 sitting in my Wii U.
Ooh, very
I'm
nice.
going to play that when we get done with this podcast. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little excited. A little excited to give that a shot.
Nice.
Mike, what you been playing?
I've been playing. It's been a pretty standard, kind of the usual fare. I have actually been digging a little bit into Hearthstone as well, and I kind of bounced off it before, but I like it. I haven't played too much of it, but I do like it. I don't know if it's something I would spend like a lot of time with, but I kind of am starting to get like okay, like I kind of get it, and I'm liking it so far. So I might have more updates on that going forward. Like Josh,
What kind of character class do you use?
I mean, I don't even think I've unlocked them all. So I'm still pretty early on. I've been using the mage just because that's like the starting one.
Yeah.
And it seems to work okay. So I haven't messed around too much more with the other classes just yet. Like Josh, I have been messing around with some Hitman. I just did this week's Elusive Target, and it was really hard. It was very difficult, but we made it. Have you messed around with those, Josh?
Yeah, I did last week's Elusive Target with the fashion guy.
Oh, yeah.
So, killing him was really easy.
Mm-hmm.
The problem was, first off, I did it very publicly and had to get out of there very quickly and hid in a crate for a while, kind of surrounded by people who were like, that guy just shot that guy. But then I tried to run away and realized I had forgotten something that the guy dropped.
Oh, no.
So I'm like running around near the exits like, why can't I escape? And I'm like, oh, no, I'm not done. So then I had to like find a way to find a new outfit and get in there. And then that almost didn't go well. And I got the flash drive right at the very end and got out and got away. But I felt pretty good. Like, first Elusive Target, it was a success. There may have been an asterisk next to it, but I got it. So
look at that.
Yeah,
good job.
I think that's a really neat concept, though, the Elusive Targets of the whole.
Yeah, it's a good way. Like, I didn't mean to cut you off there. It's a
No,
really good. Because the Elusive Target missions aren't exactly really complex or deep. They're kind of a lot like just the escalations. I guess in terms of like what you need to do on the map to succeed, but I think it's just the one attempt tension that it adds of like that makes it really cool.
It really tests your mastery of that environment. You kind of have to know where things are in the layout really well and plan that ahead in advance so you can say, okay, I know where I need to get this, this, and this to do this, to get here, to get that guy and get out as smoothly as possible because I've got the one shot. If I fuck up, that's it. Done. Game over.
Yeah, it's I've really enjoyed doing those. I haven't gotten all of them. I've had a couple misses, but that's what do we do when we fall off the horse? We get back on.
You get back on.
Except
with the
horse,
elusive targets because you can't because the horse died.
And it's gone forever.
Yep.
So sad.
Tragic.
And I've also been, we've been playing more Overwatch with the
Grabbing the cock.
grabbing the rooster with the Lunar New Year stuff, and that actually, I kind of wanted to lead into like a announcement Overwatch made this week that they're adding a server browser, and they're adding custom game support, and you're going to be able to run stuff like that on server browsers.
And Grab the Cock is going to get added to the full-time arcade rotation.
Oh, the capture the flag mode?
Yep, and I think they're going to expand. They're going to add 3 or 4 other maps that will have that game mode on it. I think like Oasis.
Yeah, they're
arcade or quick play?
It'll be an arcade.
Yeah.
Okay, because that thing is still rough.
Yeah, it's still. I'm glad
it's fun, but it's rough.
I'm glad that it's kind of in its own thing, like separate from like quick play or competitive. But what was I gonna say? I had it and I lost it. They're adding it for the. I just remembered. Like Josh was saying, they're adding it so you'll do capture the flag on all of the King of the Hill maps.
That's right.
So Oasis, Ilios, Nepal, and Lijiang Tower. So they're doing that.
Okay.
And that's coming soon. And then I've been keeping an eye on the subreddit, and people have. There's already a dedicated subreddit to like custom game types that people have made, but some people have like made some kind of crazy predator mode. People are doing like crazy surf type things on the map. I think eventually they're gonna let you do a feature where you go into a custom game and just hit like I want to save these settings, and it'll just save everything that the creator set up.
Now, question, and I don't know if you know the answer to this, but maybe because like you're talking about the crazy predator mode thing, do they allow, like they do with the other like brawl stuff, to you get really granular with the settings as far as like you pick only these heroes and you can change their cooldowns or their alt charge rate and get all of that stuff
you can
microscopic to like really drill down and say like I want this and this, I want these cooldowns down to like 2 seconds, and I want the alt rate to be up by double speed or something like that. Can you do all of that?
Yeah, that's the stuff that kind of really amazed me, with just like how deep it is. Like just for an example, like someone you're specifying things like modes. So it's elimination, game mode start, health pack respawn time. Health packs, you can disable them. Hero limit, 2 per team. Respawn time, 500%. And then like for heroes, you can tweak like you can go to the specific hero, the specific ability. So you can generally you can increase things like we're going to do 45% of damage dealt. We're going to have half the health. We're going to increase our move speed by 100%. Like McCree couldn't do his combat roll, but his flashbang time is going to increase by 115%. And so you can get really, really granular with it. So that's
amazing.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. It'll be cool for like content creation or videos or SourceForge videos people might want to make.
Yeah, I think not that Overwatch I think was lacking in, tools or support for the long run here, but I think adding like it's just so cool that they just added this whole entire new element to an already pretty cool game, and it's like now there's going to be even crazier shit going on here, and you'll just be able to like find it, and that's really sweet. I don't think they're adding they're letting people mess around with like custom maps. So I don't think there'll be any Overwatch RP servers or like crazy Gmod type stuff. But yeah, who knows down the road what that might change, and then things might get really weird. But for now, it just seems like I think that's going to be going live probably on the 14th, I think, is usually about how long it takes for something once it gets added to like the test region to go live. But I think that's pretty rad that they just added it. I think that's super cool, and I'm really excited to kind of dig into that and mess around. Yeah.
Cool.
It just really shows too that Blizzard is committed to really giving the player base and the fans what they need to get as much out of that game as possible, and to really give it as long a legs as they possibly can. So, I mean, obviously I don't think anybody was really concerned about that, but just to give that signal and be like, look, we're going to give you everything you need to get the most out of this game as possible. I think that's pretty awesome.
I agree. It's pretty sweet. But yeah, so that's kind of it for what I've been playing. That was just a little bit of interesting news I saw this week. I don't know. What else do you guys want to hit on? Josh, do you have any other kind of things you see going on? Or
Well, I wanted to talk about something. Gentlemen, I brought us all here today for a reason.
Oh?
When's the last time any of you fine gentlemen, or your significant others, or anyone you know, really, shopped at a GameStop?
I think I was in one a couple of weeks ago to get my copy of Fire Emblem. So not that... It was in 2017.
Okay, cool.
The last time I was in a GameStop was probably before the Metroid hatched. I think I had gone to a mall for some reason, and my wife was shopping and doing something, and I got bored, and I just went into a GameStop to, like, look around and see what was up. But I didn't buy anything. The last time I bought anything from a GameStop proper was probably... Ugh, how to say this out loud? Metroid Other M.
It could,
2010?
That could have been...
That's the last time you went to a GameStop? 2010?
That's the last time I bought something from a GameStop.
It could have been worse. It could have been like the console version of Payday 2.
It's true.
It could have been much
it
worse.
It could have been. It was. Thank God. But it
could have been the console version of Evolve.
Ooh, that's pretty rough.
Or Battleborn.
That's pretty rough. I think the pay. You know what? Okay, this is a sidebar conversation. Okay, Stan, what's up with GameStop?
Yeah. So, GameStop, their Circle of Life program, which is a program they have their employees to sell their product by.
Yeah, it's like kind of a selling type. I guess transaction goals is kind of what I've seen it explained as.
Yeah. There are 4 different circles of life that they contribute to, and contributes to the Circle of Life quotas. There's pre-orders, reward subscription cards, used game sales, and trade-ins. In the Circle of Life is you come in, you buy a new game, you get some accessories with that, you trade in maybe a couple games, you pre-order a couple games, and while you're there pre-ordering games, you sign up for that nice sexy GameStop reward card, you sign up for their magazine, and they make sure that circle just keeps continuing.
So lots of kind of add-on stuff, it sounds like, too.
Oh yeah, capitalizing on that. So what happens if you were to say, let's take you, Mike. Let's take you. You're like walking down the street. You're like, ooh, a GameStop. I heard about the new Fire Emblem game. You go into the new GameStop. You walk to the store. I'll take a copy of Fire Emblem Birthright Fates, my man. They're like, that'll be $40 plus tax. By the way, do you want a reward card subscription? No. Do you want to sign up for the magazine? No. Do you want to go ahead and trade in the games? No. Do you want to like Mike is just hardlining. He's like, hey, I came here with a mission. I got $43 in my pocket. Let's get the job done. All right. Do you want to go ahead and pre-order any games for the future? No. All right.
No.
Well, here's your game, and then you walk out with your game. Job's a good one. You might have just gotten that person fired because you didn't do any of the thing. Even though he sold you the game that you walked in for, you may have gotten that person fired because the Circle of Life program requires employees to have a specific number goal to do all of the things that they're asking you about. And if they don't, it affects their bottom line and substantially.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, some people, there's been some reporting on employees, saying like it almost would be better like if we didn't sell you a copy, it'd be almost be better for, I guess, not being reprimanded as part for missing one of those quotas as a store. If they just if I never came into a GameStop and just bought my one new game, that that would be worse for them than if I never showed up at all. Because if they have a transaction without one of those add-ons, that hurts more than them missing out on a new sale, which is, I do kind of, on the one hand, I understand a business has to make money, and that's where when it comes to like a brick and mortar, massive retail chain like GameStop, they don't make money on the new game on a new game sale, because
they make it
on the used copy that's like $2 cheaper than the new listing, on the getting you to pre-order as a returning customer. You sign it getting you invested in the rewards program or picking up some other kind of merch. Like, I understand that those are kind of like, I get where they're coming from, and kind of going to something that's so aggressive like this, it's definitely kind of shows the general fear of, big box, the Amazon death cloud that will soon consume us all.
So the Circle of Life program has existed in one form or another for years, because never having worked at a GameStop, I used to shop at GameStop a lot, but the process of just being harangued by their employees, or just like in many cases straight up lied to sometimes, like right after E3 2013, I went into a GameStop the next day because I was really impressed with Sony's presentation of the PlayStation 4. So I went into a GameStop to pre-order one, like you do. And the employee there said, "Oh, we can't pre-order this for you unless you pre-order a game and 2 controllers to go along with it." And I said, "Are you sure? Can't I just pre-order the console? I'm willing to put down a $400 retainer to get this console." They're like, "Yeah, you can still put down the retainer, but we can't let pre-orders walk out the door without at least a controller and at least a game." And I left because that one, he lied to me, because I actually had a friend that was a GameStop employee. He's like, "Oh no, that guy was just trying to buff his numbers. Yeah, fuck him." And so how does someone like do that to another customer? Just straight up lie and say you have to buy other things to buff your numbers. And also, to be fair, there are a lot of GameStops, Best Buys are guilty of this too, that will have the console in stock, but they won't sell it to you without you buying like $100 to $200 worth of accessories along with it. Granted, it's because they make nothing on consoles, but what's the solution to that? Do you just continue to have the manufacturer just let the retailer make nothing on consoles and GameStop gets screwed, I guess, a little bit? Or do you tell GameStop to just be a better business and offer different products that make me want to come there and buy, not try to force me to buy your accessories and bullshit?
Yeah,
sorry,
it's
I will say, and I stepped out for a second, and I don't know if this was said, like, and Ray kind of alluded to this too. It is also very varied how this program is implemented, how seriously people take it. Like, the whole lying about having stuff in stock isn't necessarily spelled out in their Circle of Life actual employee documents, because that probably wouldn't go over well. But it's like, in certain areas you do have employees who are much more encouraged to do the kind of shit Ray saw, whereas I've gone into I remember going into a GameStop and wanting to buy a thing and buying that thing, and they're like, "Hey, do you want a subscription to Game Informer?" And I said no, and they're like, "Okay, here's your shit, go buy." So it's not everywhere, and it's not every time. Because I bet you if Ray had gone to that same GameStop with a different employee, he might have gotten a different result, too.
No, the GameStop I'm talking about was one I was living next to when I was in college. And typically it was a fine store. But there were times when, I'm not going to lie, the experience was less than stellar, because they would... There was a time, and this happens, and I'm not the only one that this has happened to, where I went into that GameStop, the same one I'm talking about, and I went and got a copy of Fallout 3 because Josh wouldn't shut up about it. So I went and said, "You know what, let me give this game a shot." I did have fun with it, I'm not going to lie. And I went to the store. I said, I'll take Fallout 3. Okay, we don't have any new copies. We only have pre-owned. Okay, I don't care. I'll take the pre-owned. He's like, and that'll be $58.99 with the game disc scratch warranty. And I said, hold on, stop right there. What's that? And they said, oh, it's a warranty on top of your game, so that if the game disc gets scratched for any reason, you can just bring it in, and then we'll just replace it for you for free. And I asked how much that was that they were adding to the top of my receipt without telling me. I said, it's just $3.99. So $4 to guarantee that the game won't scratch inside the console. That's ridiculous. How long does it even cover it? 1 year? Take that off. Don't put that on my... Why are you just putting that on my receipt? Why does that exist? Why is that an option? Who buys that?
Why would you do this to me?
And I get it from a perspective of the employees. I have many friends who have worked at GameStop. It's not like they're paying you much above minimum wage. I'm sorry to say. This might be like airing out some serious dirty laundry, but they're really not. And they're actually very quick to fire employees if they're not performing well, because, well, the sad reality is there are a ton of people willing to work at a GameStop. It's kind of like the stack of applications Walmart gets.
Yeah.
Most GameStops have a stack of applications.
At the end of the day, you have a lot of people who are like, I like video games. I want to work in GameStop.
You have no idea what you're signing up for. None.
You're not really working in video games, but
you're working as you're a cog in the system, definitely.
Yep.
I've always wanted to be that cog.
A system that I have not been a part of in a very long time.
I have to say that I get it from their perspective. You're a lower paid employee, and you're just trying to do your fucking job, and your fucking job requires you to upsell. And if you don't upsell, you can get like punished in some way, shape, or form, or just fired. So I get the stress that comes with that, and that's awful. But also, to like corporate GameStop, the fuck, man! I just want to buy a video game. What if I don't care about all of this stuff that you're making every single employee ask me about?
But to their credit, they've got to do what they've got to do to stay in business, because they're not going to be able to sustain just selling new video games. And I mean, really, you think in the long run they're not going to be able to sustain when we get to the more digital heavy era. Obviously that's going to take a while to get there, but they granted they could really do something to kind of think about what their next move is, but rather than do that, they're like, let's squeeze as much money out of these fuckers while we are still around, and then get the fuck out.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the last time I walked into a GameStop, the very last time was when I bought Xenoblade Chronicles X, and I went to a GameStop store that's not too far from me, and according to their website, they had it in stock. So I went there, and all of my GameStop stores are completely for real. And now that with the Circle of Life story is coming out, it's all starting to make sense.
Mm-hmm. Puts a lot of things in perspective.
Yeah. I walked to the store. I said, "Hey, I just won Xenoblade Chronicles X for Wii U. It looks like a really fun game." They're like, "Yeah, it really is a fun game. I play it at home." And I was like, "Hey, according to your website," I pull out my phone. It says you guys have it in stock. Hey, I'm gonna preempt this. I don't want your magazine. I'm already a GameStop Rewards member. Not anymore. And I just want to go ahead and get the game. They're like, "Oh yeah, you know what? We only have the special edition of the game in stock." And I looked at him like, "How much is it?" Because the game itself was $60. "Oh, it's just $90, but it comes with this cool fold out. It comes."
I don't want the special edition. God damn it!
Right, I just wanted the game. Just give me these. Like, the game's really popular. A lot of places are out of stock. I mean, the next GameStop that has it is like 20 miles away from here. So I left that GameStop and I went to the Best Buy 1 mile down the road, and they had 15 copies in stock.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, GameStop has been like in a kind of a weird position for a while. I mean, obviously we're not in the all digital hellscape just yet, but GameStop is looking more and more, is getting closer and closer to, passed on didn't buy Netflix for $1 million blockbuster status.
Yeah. Well,
you know
and I
what
don't know
mean?
if you guys mentioned this either, but like they also now have the added pressure from Amazon with the whole if you buy a relatively new physical game or pre-order it, they knock like 20% off the price, so you're only paying like $47. So like they now have that added pressure too, and they're just like, man,
less than that.
Eat. I'd hate to be a GameStop board member right now.
I pre-ordered Breath of the Wild. I hate pre-ordering shit. But I pre-ordered Breath of the Wild for the Switch, which is coming out in 3 weeks, gentlemen.
God damn, that's...
Whoa,
we're almost
really?
there.
Holy cow, yeah, it is. Dang.
Yep. And Amazon Prime let me pre-order it for $43.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's
I'm
like
an
the
idiot
one
not to
time I'm
pre-order
okay
it now.
with the pre-order is if you're actually getting like monetary
Yeah.
value from it. I mean, there's still like, you shouldn't pre-order games, but like if you're gonna give me a $20 discount,
God damn,
I guess I can do it.
Ooh, that's how you get someone with the pre-orders. You're like, pre-order this and save a buttload of money. Okay, now you're talking. God damn, now I have to listen.
The value proposition of pre-ordering has gone up again. So, thank you, Amazon.
But only for Amazon.
Yeah. So, moral of the story is you should be a Prime member.
That's a takeaway from. Yeah, I've
2-day shipping
all the
is great.
stuff I've pre-ordered from Amazon has been just going great. Pre-ordered some Smash Brothers, pre-ordered Switch, pre-ordered Star Fox Zero. God damn that game.
Just because you pre-order a game, pre-order a game, doesn't make it a good one. You can pre-order bad games.
No.
I probably pre-ordered Star
pre-order
Fox Dinosaur Planet, which is an incredible game. So it obviously has nothing to do with this conversation.
I pre-ordered Metroid Other M.
Ooh,
I pre-ordered
that's
Metroid Other M for $60.
I got the deluxe edition
I want to say
What the fuck came into the deluxe
with the
edition?
art book and shit.
I probably pre-ordered Nintendogs. I probably pre-ordered that game. I'm trying to think. What's the worst game I pre-ordered? Nintendogs is a fun game though.
It's probably Other M for me because I fit. It's between that and Final Fantasy 13.
Ooh, I pre-ordered that game
I have
too.
to-
Ooh, shit.
At least I finished Other M before I brought it back.
That's fair.
Did I?
But I brought both back within a month, so
I don't think I pre-ordered The Witcher 3.
That's a good game.
I bounced off it
You're not feeling
hardcore.
it. Oh, okay. You're just not feeling it. Okay,
I was not
for
feeling it.
everyone.
Um,
I think the worst game I pre-ordered to this day is still Star Fox Zero, because all the
not a
shit
good
games
game.
I've pre-ordered, at least I can finish them. Star Fox Zero, I finished, but I didn't like anything about the experience except the music. The music's great. Listen to Star Fox Zero, Star Wolf theme. That thing's epic. That's it.
if I want to be edgy, and if I want to start a fight, I could say I pre-ordered Dark Souls 2.
I mean, I've only beaten Bloodborne, so I can't speak to how good or bad Dark Souls 2 is.
I should play Dark Souls 2 again. It's kind of
Supposedly it's the weakest in the series.
It's like technically it might be the weakest. I mean, it's still pretty good. It's still Dark Souls. I think I like 3 more. And 2 is just a really kind of weird departure from compared to 1. And like the world doesn't feel as cohesive. I mean, compared to like the really intricate kind of design of 1, and so that kind of ruins a lot of the kind of like exploration elements of that I really enjoyed of Dark Souls 1. That game's pretty good though. I should go back and try it again.
Since we've circled back to Dark Souls, I wanted to pitch you guys an idea that I might one day email From Software. So, Josh, you want to hear this too? From Software also makes, and they seem to have recently abandoned because they oversaturate the series, Armored Core. So, pitch idea From Software: Dark Souls, Armored Core, Pineapple Banana Pen. Make that happen. I want a Dark Souls Armored Core where you have to time your boost dodges, time your laser slashes, time your gunshots at the end.
Oh, so you
That one's free
you
to
just
From
want Dark
Software.
Souls Gundam?
Nothing about the sentence you just said was bad.
There are no.
I'm so aroused right now.
I said that. I was like, oh, this would obviously be dumb. But then I said it, and I was like, wait.
Wait a minute.
What is?
I mean,
That's not.
is a
That's
$1
not the
billion
worst.
Dynasty
idea.
Warriors Gundam wasn't a bad idea. So like Dark Souls Gundam's probably also just as amazing. I've actually been watching a lot of Gundam anime the last like week or so.
Which one? I hear there's a new one out.
I haven't watched the new. I'm kind of going back and watching some old stuff. I watched the 8th MS Team, still great.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good.
And right now I'm watching 0083 Stardust Memories. So
Is that the one where Char is a good guy?
I don't know. We haven't seen him yet. This is the one that it's 3 years after the war ends, and there's like a Xeon faction that has been like laying in wait, and they steal a Gundam prototype with a nuke. Like,
I'm in.
yeah, it's pretty good. So, been watching.
That sounds great.
Yeah, watching Gundam recently. So it's been a blast. Yeah, no, Dark Souls Gundam. Yeah, let's make that happen.
I mean, I'd be okay with Dark Souls Armored Core, but Dark Souls Gundam, you get some licensing rights in there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you like money, go ahead, whatever.
I mean, because you've kind of got the whole like. I mean, I haven't gotten I played the alpha, but it just came out, so and we're kind of talking about it. Like that Neo from Team Ninja. It's to be like reductive. Looks like Samurai Dark Souls, but it's really interesting.
I don't think that's being reductive, because from what I've heard and seen of that game, it looks like that's exactly what they were going for. Like, they were very intentional in there. We are making a Dark Souls game, just that's samurai based.
Like, it's really cool to it's really interesting to see that kind of like the Dark Souls kind of game, spin off into its own kind of little subgenre type thing. Like, I would be really interested in seeing some more games kind of like it. Like, I never tried Lords of the Fallen, but it didn't seem as like people didn't really seem as jazzed about that as they did with Neo. So, I really like the Dark Souls and kind of Bloodborne aesthetic. I think that I mean, From Software just has done some incredible stuff with those games. But I'm really curious. I'm really curious to see. Will we see more games kind of like this? Will we see more of them from other teams?
Yeah,
and
is this
what
is
are
this
they,
the
what do they
birth of a
keep?
genre?
What are they? Yeah, I think that'll be really kind of. I mean, because Dark Souls. Dark Souls 3 is going to be the last Dark Souls game, from all indications. I mean, I think they've got the Ringed City DLC coming out later this year, which looks pretty sweet. So, I mean, once they kind of leave the series, like, does that? I mean, that'll be kind of something kind of interesting to track. Like, what happens to that subgenre? Like, I mean, so many people play these games, and I play through them, and I play through it. I like it, then I kind of let it go. But some people have like thousands of hours in Dark Souls, and it's like,
how?
There's a lot of
why.
Some people there's a lot of PvP, and I'm not really a big PvP Dark Souls person.
Okay.
Some people are real into that. So I'm really curious to see, where does it go from here? Who picks up the kind of torch? And
because of Bloodborne, I've actually started going back and reading H.P. Lovecraft books. And you know what? I actually, for the first time in my life, finished Call of Cthulhu. You know what? Not bad. Go back and read those books, is what I'm saying.
Bloodborne is so good. I know we talk about welcome to Unscripted Bloodborne. My name is Bloodborne.
My name is Ludwig's Holy Blade.
My name is Over It.
Oh no. We'll name you Threaded Cane. I'm just kidding. The Threaded Cane is actually the most badass
Jacob
weapon.
cannot stop saying that weapon is
It's
great.
so great. It's a cane that you turn into like a chain whip thing. That's so cool.
It's Castlevania. It turns Bloodborne into Castlevania.
Yeah, that's the best. That's why it's amazing.
Simon Belmont with the pimp cane gets down by the way he talks, and also
It's so good. I mean, I'm with you. The Holy Blade is the way to go because it's a sword. You just snap into a bigger sword which is great.
Anime as fuck.
But there's something really just satisfying, just like with the threaded cane. It's like, oh man.
Don't get me wrong, there's something satisfying about the charge attack on the threaded cane when you just smack a motherfucker out of the air or something. They like do a jumping attack. No!
Man, I really need to play that game again. That game is really good.
Go another run, threaded cane run only. With top hat. Pimp run.
That game is
Alright, I think we should end it there since Josh is getting pissed off because we've
there's
gone back to bullet
one thing I
glazing
wanted
over.
to make mention of, just because I thought this was really fucking neat, and this is Josh's hardware minute.
Okay.
I don't know if you may or may not be aware of it, but like overclocking is really easy nowadays with modern motherboard technology and things of that nature. But there is a group of people that have embarked on the task of extreme overclocking, and they have competitions for this. And
That's
a group
amazing.
in Germany just recently took an i7 7700K Kaby Lake processor, which base clock is like 4.2 and boost to about 4.5. They overclocked that thing to 7.2 gigahertz using liquid helium.
That's like
Why?
That's like almost. I mean, for like a lot of. That's like almost twice as much as like what it would just do like plugged in. Like, that's insane. That's so funny.
I highly recommend, and I'll give Ray a link to the article I'm specifically referencing to put in the show notes. But like, I highly recommend just looking at some videos of these guys doing it. Like, they go through and they test. They basically just have motherboards in the open air, and then they have this big like vat on top of the CPU. But it looks like the regular stuff. You've got your GPU and you've got your RAM and stuff like that, and your power supply.
That's awesome.
But they just like have this big thing that they sit and they have a bottle of liquid, and usually nitrogen, but these guys use helium because it is 70 degrees Celsius colder than liquid nitrogen to get to where they got with this. Because I think the previous record was like a 6 gigahertz or something like that. But you know, they just sit there and they pour some in, and you see it boiling off as they're like running all these benchmarks and trying to get as much power out of it without putting on too much voltage to fry the CPU, which they do fry lots of CPUs. So, which if you think about it, your Kaby Lake i7 7700K costs like $400. So it's an expensive hobby, but
yeah,
this is everything you're saying is insanity.
It is
It's
insanity.
Just like
And watching a
insanity.
video of them like just sitting there trying to like fiddle with the settings and get this stuff done on these open air computers, and like the cloud of helium that's coming around from the liquid boiling off. It's fascinating.
Well, hey man,
I'm sitting here like, I'm really happy that I got my 6700K up to 4.4 gigahertz with my little water cooler.
I'm just, you know, sometimes you just really need to run Undertale at 500 frames a second, okay?
I mean,
you need that game to be real smooth.
It's true.
It doesn't work unless it's
you don't want any frames dropping. Like, that could really pull you out of the experience.
These frame drops on this Flowey boss fight.
You don't need your computer at this point in time to be that fast.
Garbage. Just trash.
This is dick measuring.
I mean,
How big is
why
your DP?
buy an enterprise server level Xeon processor when you could just get a 7700K and constantly pour liquid helium on it? I mean, why would you do that?
What? It's so convenient. It's just, you know, I had all this liquid helium sitting around. I was
Move
gonna throw it away anyway. I mean, I don't know.
Move over, Watson. There's a new processor in town.
I want to see them.
Where do you even get liquid helium? That's my question.
You probably have to talk to like an MRI company, like somebody who supplies medical helium.
Right.
And probably the government.
Yeah. Or you get some helium and then you try and compress it really, really, really hard yourself.
Holy shit, you could just buy it on Amazon. Never mind.
Oh, there you go.
2017, man.
It's
What a
expensive,
time.
though.
I want to see them like overclock a microwave. Like, hey, so how many? What'd you get that thing up to? Oh, we got to go on about 25, 30 miles an hour. Wait, what? What did you do?
Yeah, in the article they say the liquid helium is 4,000 euros for 100 liters. And remember, you're talking $400 for each processor, which they go through several of. So
Do you get
now,
20% off? When
I'm betting
a new,
they have have sponsorship from Intel. Like Intel's part of the process, and I think the team is actually based through ASUS. So obviously they've got some money, but still, it
what a crazy
fascinates me.
world! Like,
Yeah,
that's so nuts. Like,
I kind of want to go now because I hear that they have them. Like they do some of this at like things like PAX and whatnot, where they'll have in like a side area the overclocking competition with teams just like sitting on these computers trying to get the fastest processor speed. Like
that's incredible.
I don't know.
Yeah,
that's just. I read that. I was like, man, that's incredible.
That is super interesting.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
extreme overclocking.
I think that should wrap up Josh's Hardware Minute
Yeah.
and the podcast.
Yeah, I think so. So, if
Where
you
can
want to
they-
continue to hear about Josh's Hardware Minute and, other stuff we talk about too, you can make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. Go to facebook.com, look up Unscripted Gaming, give us a like there. Follow us at Twitter at unscript_gaming. You can also get us in your ears with soundcloud.com/unscript-gaming. We are also on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Pocket Cast. Get us in your ears.
On the go.
Anywhere you want to be, we'll be there with you. With
The
hard.
gym.
Just stop.
It
This
is.
analogy's about to go real south real fast. Just
The
stop right
library.
there. Just,
I guess I'll stop
Just stop.
while I'm ahead and say thank you for listening to Unscripted Gaming. I'm Josh.
I'm Mike.
I'm Ray.
Peace.
See you next time.